In our previous video, we have enabled routing in our application and we have successfully been able to navigate to different components by clicking these links. But the problem here is that whenever we are clicking on these links, the complete page is reloading. And the most dangerous side effect of this is it resets our application state. Meaning whatever variable or data we have passed in navigation from one component to another component will get reset. So in order to prevent this problem, we should always avoid using href for navigation in Angular or any other single page application. Angular provides a directive called RouterLink for navigation purpose. Let's replace href with RouterLink in all places. Also rename this caption to rent. I mistakenly named it cell in our previous video. If now we will run our application, see, our page is not reloading when we are clicking these different links. Next, we will enable and disable these links on the base of selected route. You can see this by link is highlighted and other are dimmed. So this is highlighted because we have used this active bootstrap class here in our list page. But how to activate it dynamically for the active route link? Well, Angular provides a RouterLinkActive directive for the same. We can provide a class name here and Angular will add a CSS class to that element when a particular link route becomes active. Let's set it for all links and run the application. You can see when we are clicking list property, it's getting highlighted. But why are these two links also active? The reason for this is we have used the same path for both the links. Let's add one more route in the routes array in our app module. Name it rent property and let's use it in navigation for rent menu link. If now we are clicking list property, see rent link is getting deactivated but buy link is still active. And the reason behind this is by default Angular router active directive works on the base of matching pattern on URL. Means if URL is partially matched, then also active CSS will be added to the associated element. As the by link is referring to this URL and as this is the base URL of our application and all URLs containing this starting part of URL, this by link is getting active for all routes. So how can we resolve this problem? Well, RouterLinkActive directive provides a property called RouterLinkActiveOptions. And here we can pass a JavaScript object and we can set the exact property to true. That means now this RouterLinkActive directive will set this CSS only when the URL matches exactly with a route. See, if now we are clicking on these different links, it is working as expected. And if we look at the element by pressing F12 in the browser, you can see this active class is added only for the rent link as it is active at present. So this is how we can add any CSS dynamically to the active route in Angular. Next, we want that a new component should be loaded to display the detail of property. If we click on this detail button link, let's add a new component. Give it a name property-detail. Make sure to add it in app module and add a new route to navigate to this new component. Let's name it property-detail. So now if we will add this new route in the URL, our new component is loaded. But we need to load this component when a user click on this link button. So go to HTML template of the property card component. And here on this button, We can use router link as we have used in navigation bar for the different menus. And let's add /property-detail and check if it works. Perfect. Our property detail component is loading successfully on clicking of this button. But every property here is a unique property. And we want that property ID should be passed from here to the property detail component, so that property detail component loads the detail of property we have selected on our list page. We need a way to pass the ID in the URL, something like this, so that we can fetch it in our property detail component. So to define a route like this, which should accept a dynamic variable in URL, Angular provides an option to add a variable by putting a colon in the URL, and you can give any name to this dynamic variable. If now we will try to add this URL in the browser and use any value here, our property detail component is loaded. As this ID should be the property ID, we are clicking here on our property card. We can pass property ID here with this URL here using string interpolation, add double curly braces, and we can pass the property.id here in this URL. So now we are getting property ID in URL for the property we are clicking from our list page. Now we need a way to access this ID in our property detail component so that we can fetch the details of selected property somewhere from the database. Angular provides an interface named ActivatedRoute that can be used to access the information related to an active route. We can inject it here in our constructor. Let's name it route of type ActivatedRoute. Make sure this line is added at the top of this component. Add a property ID of type number and use it in onInit method to extract the ID we are getting in URL. We can use this route to extract the ID like this. This .route .snapshot.params square bracket, and here we need to pass the name of the variable, and it should be the exact name we have used in our routes here in our app module. And remember, this is a case sensitive and will not work if you change the case. Let's now display this property ID here in our HTML template to verify it. And try it by clicking different properties. Perfect. We have successfully been able to fetch the property ID here from the route URL. Next, we will look how to programmatically navigate to different routes on clicking of a button. Let's add a back button here on our add property component. Add a class btn primary to give it a decent look. And on clicking this back button, we should be navigated back to our property list component. Angular provides a service named router, which provides various methods to manipulate URL and navigations. Let's inject it here to use the method of this service. Make sure it is imported here from @angular/router. Add a method and name it onBack. We will call this method when someone clicks the button we just have added in our HTML template. And in this method, we can use this .route. Let's name it router. So this .router.navigate. And here as parameter, we can pass an array to build the URL. As we just want to navigate our base URL, we'll pass / here as parameter. In our next video, we will look at how to pass different parameter in URL using this navigate method. So our function is ready. Now we can bind this function to the click event of our back button. Till now we have just used string interpolation and property binding to pass the information. This is the first time we are going to use event binding in this tutorial to bind our method to the click event. We can bind any event that is supported by an element like this bracket and use the event name. Remember, all the HTML elements use on as prefix with event name. For example, if you look at the documentation of button element, you will find on click is the name of the event of a button. But here, when we are using event binding, we should remove on from that event name. Otherwise, it will not work. And now we can pass the function name here that is to be called on firing this click event. Let's check it. Perfect. It's working fine. We are navigating back to our list component on clicking of this button. Next, we will understand a few more functionality of routing and divide these properties in two different categories. One, those are available for buying, and another, those are available for rent. And then we will filter those properties in our property list component on the base of selected menu. See you in next video. Stay tuned. Tada. Bye bye.